after a little bit. But thank you so much for coming early, on schedule, and welcome to what we are all confident will be a very stimulating and informative day. I'm Marty Sullivan. I'm director of the Portrait Gallery, and it's a privilege to host today's symposium with an extraordinary group of knowledgeable scholars who are here, as well as all of you. I am going to defer to my good colleagues, the co-curators, David Ward, who, like me, is a historian here at the Portrait Gallery, and Jonathan Katz, our guest co-curator, without whom the whole project just could not have come together. Actually, let's exercise a little bit, because I'd like to ask David and Jonathan if they will just stand and let us thank them for a lot of work that went into this important project. I said to Jonathan and David yesterday, I used to think, and I've been a museum director a long while, since the early 80s, I used to think that the best description for a director or a university president or whatever is that it's like being a Timex watch. Remember that old slogan, takes a licking and keeps on ticking? But that's true of these two gentlemen through an extraordinarily ambitious, complicated, and controversial episode of presenting Hide-Seek, talking about Fire in My Belly, working assiduously to make sure that the exhibition itself has come here, is here, will be here, and that all of the associated activities, the catalog, the website, and so forth, continue to be out with the public. It's a major achievement. Just a word about why this exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery. Portraiture is our mission, of course, and it's such a fascinating engagement, I think, between a sitter, an artist, and a viewer. In some ways, a portrait answers questions. Who are you? What is it about you that draws me to you? And what about you can I not know? And that whole notion of the function of a portrait in both revealing identity and, to some extent, perhaps concealing facets of identity is at the core of Hide-Seek. And it's really at the core of all of the work of portraiture that hangs here. What's so essential about this exhibition and project and symposium, from at least my perspective, is that it addresses questions that many people ignored or were afraid to ask or whispered about. And it's brought them out, and that can only be a healthy thing. I particularly want to acknowledge, on behalf of the Portrait Gallery and us, the generous and unstinting support of the John Burton Harter Charitable Trust, whose trustees are sitting here right in front of me. Gentlemen, will you stand? This project attracted the support of an incredible number of donors. Ordinarily, if you go to a new museum show and you see that there's a corporate sponsor or one or two foundations that are involved, you think, well, okay, that's great. And as you know, for us and for other Smithsonian museums, we simply couldn't do the intellectual work that results in publications and exhibitions and symposia without private support. So there were more than 100 individual, corporate, and foundation donors to Hide-Seek, but the John Burton Harter Charitable Trust stands out for its commitment to the theme, to the importance of dialogue and scholarship, to the essential role of getting the word out through symposia, through publications, through engagement in the community, and we really sincerely thank you for. So now I'm going to turn to my colleague David Ward, co-curator, who will give us a little update on the day. It's going to be kind of a long day, isn't it? So if you need to take a break at any time, you know, this is a symposium, but it is not a death march. So, so stand, walk around, use the restrooms, whatever you need to do. But most of all, welcome. David Ward.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the symposium in association with Hide-Seek, Addressing and Redressing the Silence, New Scholarship and Sexuality and American Art. I, first of all, just want to reiterate Marty's thanks to the J.B. Harder Foundation, who've been great. We did receive wide, deep support for this show, and their commitment to the educational program today has been amazing. I also just want to take the time to thank my colleagues at the National Portrait Gallery, particularly the Education Department, the Public Affairs, Public Relations Department for the you can't say yeoman anymore, I guess. I have to say the yo people work that they've done in putting on the exhibition to begin with and then putting on this symposium. I'm not sure that opening hate mail comes under the job description for a GS9, but apparently it does now. Everything from that to arranging the lunch and this program, and I thank all of my colleagues deeply. We are today going, Hide-Seek endures, Hide-Seek survives, Hide-Seek thrives as an exhibition. It exists now, as we know, as an exhibition and also as a controversy. Today we're going to discuss the exhibition. We're going to dig down, we're going to drill down into the themes that Jonathan and I tried to explicate visually in the exhibition hall. There are plans to do a symposium on the controversy. Those are being worked on. But today we're going to focus on the fascinating questions that Hide-Seek brings into life in the National Portrait Gallery. We have a long schedule. I think it's a great schedule. It's going to be an element of thick description, as they like to say. And we're going to begin with Jonathan Weinberg, who teaches at Yale, author of Speaking for Vice, a book that I ripped off for all of my labels. And also, it took a minute, and also, most apposite, he did for the Archives of American Art an exhibition to complement Hide-Seek, for which we're very thankful, using the archive's rich resources. And he will be talking about that work and giving us a taste of it. It is still up upstairs, so you can see it during lunch. And his title of his talk is Lost and Found, Searching for the Lesbian and Gay Presence in the Archives of American Art. Jonathan.